The winter break is officially over, and the first patch of the year is looking massive. Not only can we expect large meta shifts, there are also a bunch of important system changes. Now, I did contemplate to use this video to talk about the new headliner rules, but honestly they feel rather self-explanatory, so I'd rather talk about something else. I want to go over 3 not so obvious changes that can affect your game. First up, we have an update for units that can solo stage 1-4. A lot of tier 1 units received some pretty noteworthy buffs. For example, Olaf has 5 more AD and a better attack speed ratio. Taamkench on the other hand has 10 more AD and an additional 5 armor and magic resistance. I hopped on the PBE to test the new stats out, and I had absolutely no problems with beating stage 1-4 as long as I gave Olaf a belt or a chain vest. Taamkench with chain vest also looked very stable, and while I couldn't test him with the belt yet, I wouldn't be surprised if he is a safe bet as well. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like either of them can beat the PvE rounds without items, but at least the options that we have are more reliable now. For stage 1-3, units like Taric, Evelynn and Lilia also have become safer choices without items. Especially Taric starting in the back row feels like a super safe choice. For melee units, I often prefer placing them towards the back because it forces everyone to move and clump, which feels better than the caster minions attacking your unit right at the start. We also have another dummy portal with One Ring Trainer, which adds yet another option to defeat stage 1-4 with a variety of units. Just be careful about this specific positioning, because your melee unit can run in front of the target dummy. Thanks to this pathing issue, the unit will take aggro from at least 3 of the minions, and you can easily run into a spot where your only unit dies. We could really use more aggressive target dummies in the future. Next up, we have a long-awaited bug fix with Lucian finally scaling with attack speed, but this now creates a whole new problem. In this game, I built 3 Ginzos, and initially I gave them to Twisted Fate. His attack speed ratio was also buffed, but in this example this is not relevant, because the point I want to make is that Twisted Fate has a built-in attack speed cap. Once you reach the maximum of 5.0 attack speed, he will throw 49 cards with each ability cast. This number will never go higher regardless of how many Ginzo stacks you generate. Lucian is a bit different. First of all, he can stack Ginzo with his ability. Every shot counts as 1 attack for Ginzo, making him extremely efficient at stacking the item, since you never have to worry about him wasting time while he is casting. Second, compared to Twisted Fate, his scaling doesn't have a limit. The more Ginzo stacks he has, the better. He will start shooting extremely fast, and don't forget that he also reduces the enemy armor by a flat amount with each shot. If you get a bit unlucky with him casting towards a dead target, he will gain mana for every unused shot. Together with his maxed out attack speed, you can expect him to be on full blast for the entire fight. Unless of course your opponent has something like Eternal Winter, but we don't talk about that one. If I'm not mistaken, then Lucian should also proc item effects like Static Shift or Hurricane with every second shot, so you can also attempt some meme builds with augments like Shock Treatment. There is a pretty good chance that this might become a future video. Finally, let's talk about a change regarding the augment extended play. This is a punk related augment that can only show up in stage 2-1 or 3-2. It used to make your next roll 1 gold cheaper for every time you upgrade a punk unit to 2-star, but now it has a much more powerful effect. You will receive 2 gold when upgrading a punk unit. Now you may or may not be aware of this, but this augment has a positive synergy with a punk emblem. You can collect cheap tier 1 units on your bench, put the emblem on a unit before you upgrade it to 2-star, and then you cash out the bonus gold and repeat the process. One of the reasons you might not have seen a strategy yet is because it can be somewhat hard to get your hands on both the augment and a spatula, especially when the meta revolves so heavily around carousel priority. But this might become a bit easier in the upcoming patch. The spatula portal will grant a spatula to every player at the start of the game, and the loot subscription portal has a chance for a free spatula in stage 2-1 as well. If you see an opportunity to go for this tech, you might have a much easier time now rolling for your punk units while maintaining a strong economy throughout the entire game. If you get really lucky, you might even get your hands on augments like On a Roll or Twin Terror to push this interaction to its absolute limit. I'll keep an eye out for anything interesting that might show up with the new patch, but chances are that I'll be busy on the PBE messing around with set 3.5. I hope you learned something, and see you next time.